Hi.
Hello, Phaki. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Welcome to Empowering Wellness at Home. I'm Phaki Lesibu,
And I am Cynthia Schaub.
and we are EFT practitioners. And we are today going to do a tapping. What did we say? Bullies.
Boundaries and bullies and BS.
Yeah. The BS they put us through, the BS we put ourselves through, the BS,
And the beliefs.
the beliefs.
It's all
Yeah.
B's. It's all about the B. We're going to go through the alphabet. And we skipped A.
We skipped A. We made.
A is for ass. So we'll just move on.
So I guess we're doing a little bit of a bleeping. We're bleeping today. That's another B. But we're just, this is October 2020 or November 2020. Sorry.
November
And
1st.
and it's
It's been a
time.
hell of a ride.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't even call it a ride. I would call it moving in slush.
Yes, and we are in the 11th month of 2020, and it might feel like the 22nd month of 2020 because it's been a lot. A lot has happened, and we just
And a lot of things have come up for everybody we know. So things are coming up for all of us. I don't know a human being that is not dealing with all kinds of things that are coming up and uncomfortable emotions and feelings and beliefs and people are coming from a place of anger and scarcity. And Pocky and I were talking and we're like, we don't want to do a lot of videos right now because of everything that's going on, and nothing that we can say can really add value. But after talking today, we decided to do at least one tapping, because I think that the majority of us we've all felt a little bit bullied through this process, and through this entire year so far. We've all been bullied, or our boundaries have been crossed, and
been
the
a lot of
BS keeps coming and coming, and it's like we're overloaded with BS, and we're fed up.
Well, and then there's also blame, because I think one of the things
Another B.
Another B is blame, because a lot of people would like to blame. There's been things that have been upsetting and that we do need reckoning with. And
why don't we just go ahead and start tapping while we're talking? So any of you new people who have joined, viewers that have joined the group or our YouTube channels, tapping, you can also, even if you don't have a setup statement, and you don't even get a SUDS number, like a scale from 1 to 10, even if you don't get any of that, if you start into a conversation and it has a lot of emotion attached to it, you can just start tapping.
Yeah.
And we call it tapping and ranting.
Absolutely. And what I was saying is that even though there's like this blame thing, because I think we would like, and I think that's some of what has happened right now in this culture at large, is like, yes, there's definitely things that some of us disagree with and things that need to change and people need to speak up for themselves. But there's also this blame thing going on where people are either kind of making some, interesting beliefs, and in whatever their beliefs, and people have the right to believe whatever they want to believe. But we, instead of having this, the scare tactics and the beliefs, some of it's coming from the media, some of it's coming from just people with their own agendas, but we're all being inundated with all of this information, and it's
manipulated.
And it's divisive,
Yes, it's on purpose. So be careful and pay attention. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about it today, because, you know, we're in empaths like most of you guys
Mhm.
are. Um, and there's only so much we can do. And so our goal is to neutralize and, get this emotion and this energy to dissipate. And so we can make clear-minded decisions and make room and space for abundance and get rid
Absolutely.
of living in scarcity. We're not going to buy into it. We're
And
not going to let these people make us turn us into living in scarcity and live in fear all the time.
and also it's so I think by this time most of us know where we stand, and that's, that those are our choices and those are our beliefs and those are our rights. But we don't want to have to drive off of a cliff and destroy ourselves and destroy everything that we love about our lives and our communities if we don't get exactly what we want.
Mhm.
So that's really important that we remember that we
And
have,
compromise.
yes, and compromise has become, that's a C word, but that's become this ugly, dirty word in this culture right now. And
Which
it's,
is crazy because it's the number one at the top of the list of communication
yes, and it's
is
because
compromise.
it's because if you win that anthill and you're the only one on the anthill and you're alone and you're winning, but nobody else, your neighbors aren't welcome because they don't think exactly like you, then it's not okay. That's not really fulfilling. And I think one of the things right now, I'm going to go to demonization. There's a
Mhm.
demonization going on, and it's not productive.
Mm-mm. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that no matter how much a person across from us or wherever they are, but in front of us, they come with a different set of beliefs, traditions, culture, baggage, um, a map. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that we are not the center of the universe. And it's not all about us. We are all connected, no matter if we want to believe it or not. We are all connected energetically.
And
And when we live
also,
in scarcity and fear, we cause more scarcity and
yes,
fear.
and also, I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna sound weird, and I hope I don't say it in a strange way, but most people don't wake up in the morning intending to destroy people's lives. There are people who do have selfish motivations. There are people who make wrong choices. There are people who are doing some really terrible things,
Shady.
shady things. That's absolutely the truth. But even those people have to tell a story of them in a way that makes them in a positive light because they want to be positive. So,
And a lot of them are hurting and they don't know where to begin to not hurt anymore. I mean, some
yeah.
people, and so when people act out, it's a matter of desperation, and it's you go back into animal instinct, and we start living and acting like we're cavemen.
And then following a herd
Mhm.
mentality. So, doing things as a herd because we're on sides and we're like you know, in a scarcity mode and trying to fit in and all of
And
these
we're
other
not
things,
grounded.
not grounded.
That they're not grounded. That's what I'm realizing too, is a lot of this that's going on is because we're not grounding ourselves and we're reacting at every which way the wind blows.
Hmm.
I mean, we could be driving about our day and one person can cut us off, and it's like, it's like they murdered our family or something, the way people are acting.
And I do think sometimes things can be almost like contagious.
It
because
is.
I think first off, I think people project, some people are just not happy in general, and this has been their chance to let a lot out that maybe has
Their story.
yeah, let out their story, let out their, and again, the choice, and people may say it's naive or it's not enough, but that compassion. And I'm South African, and one of my heroes is Nelson Mandela, and he was in prison for 30
Apartheid.
years,
Yeah.
and he was able to, at the end of his life, go to lunch once a week with the man who sentenced him to jail. That
Mhm.
didn't, that didn't take away from any of his integrity. It didn't take away from any of his resolve to fight for his rights, to
Mhm.
stand up for what was right. So my point is that we can talk to anyone we want to talk
Mm.
to. We can collaborate, we can really find that compromise if we want to. And
And
maybe
we can demonstrate emotional maturity,
mhm,
which I feel like we are lacking so much right now. And, and it's something that we really need to work on together and encourage each other to do it, because we're setting examples for the children, and
absolutely.
I don't have children and I worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's a really big thing. So I because we're right now, if we just stand where we are right at this minute and say what is it that we want to leave behind, or
What story we want to leave
what
behind.
story we want to leave behind, what um lessons we want to learn.
I know what I want to leave behind. I mean, I want to think about I choose to feel safe no matter who is elected.
Okay, that's a big
I
one.
Because security is a big thing, and I think that that is like why a lot of us are acting a little bizarre right now. And so today, that's one of the things is I'm going to focus on choosing to feel safe no matter who is elected.
Well, I think that one is hard for me to say, but I will choose to be positive about my life and to be respectful of others, irregardless of who is elected.
And it's none of our business what people choose to do or who to vote for. It's only business is my what I do, and what I choose to do is my business. It's not anybody else's business, and it's not my business to know what other people are doing, you know?
And I'll say that, so I will say that we can agree to disagree with others, and
Yeah.
that doesn't have to be. Now, you know we could agree to disagree, and we could agree that there are times when things are out of line and not acceptable behaviors and not acceptable things to say, um, you know mostly based on, like, sex or race or anything that's like one of those big, this is not appropriate. People can't change where they're from or how they were born, or other, things of their what they were born living, and that's their right. But we could also say that people have a right to disagree,
Hmm. For
and
sure.
that most of
And
the
it doesn't
time.
need to turn us into barbaric and crazy and,
Yeah,
physically acting like, it's just, it's sad to see grown men and women physically tearing each other up over their own beliefs. It's like, you know,
exactly. And the beliefs. So people come to their beliefs because of their experiences. And if I have beliefs that I want to be respected, I have to respect another person's right to their beliefs.
And also seeing people act like this is not freedom.
Mhm.
You know, all I keep hearing about is everybody's right to freedom. Living like that is not freedom.
Mhm.
That is not freedom. So I feel like, you know, part of our mission, Phaki and I, you know, is not only to continue to work on ourselves and to work on our own beliefs and our own blocks, but also, you know, to just guide people into understanding that, you know, it is possible for everyone to get along. You know, it is possible.
It is. And it's possible, you know, and people say it's compromise. It is compromise, but life, you know what? If you get up and you get in your car and you drive your speed limit and you stop at a red light and then stop at a stop sign, and you're compromising. And guess what? That also keeps you alive. You
And if you wake up in the morning and you go to a job, you're compromising and you are to some degree being controlled.
Mhm.
So, like, we all make decisions to live in society and function and, you know, and to do things and to have things. So, you know, we're all to some degree, you know, giving up our freedoms, you
Mhm.
know, for our luxuries and for our lifestyle. So, you know, um, it's like, you know, I think that people get freedom really confused.
Well, yeah.
And it's
So,
like you said, your guy from South Africa, Mandela, you
mhm,
know, he knew true freedom. You know, he was incarcerated. He was in prison for how long?
30 years, over 30
30
years,
years. And
around 30 years. I don't know the exact
he
amount.
figured out how to live the most fulfilling and the most amazing life, even though he was behind bars for something that he didn't do and for, you know, no reason. And, you know, but my point is that, you know, people like that are perfect examples that it's possible, you know,
Absolutely. And
to be
also
truly free, to be truly free.
be truly free. And also, we can just really transmute, you know, we can find that greater good as a culture together. So living together doesn't mean that we always agree, but we can respect each other. And that's part of that is respecting ourselves. And it doesn't even mean you can't speak your mind. It doesn't mean, you know, peaceful protest, all these things, those are great. It's more about finding a way to have a discourse because we, you know, we have a society that has yes, has some problems, but also has a lot of good. And, you know, we need to all be there together. We're not going to get there without each other.
Mhm. Exactly. I agree 100%.
So, how are you feeling, Cynthia?
I'm feeling a lot better. It feels like a lot of the emotion is gone from what I was feeling from the beginning of the conversation. So I must have got a lot of that out. And the other thing is that when I want to, the one thing that I want to close on is, you know, we can succeed together or we can fail together. Um, I mean, that's one of the things that we have to really remember is because we are connected, whether people want to believe it or not, we are all connected. And, you know, we can do really well, we can do amazing things, and we can succeed together, but we can also fail horribly together, you know. So it's just and we can make a difference. Each person can make a difference. So
Absolutely. By being light, like, you know, let's just say, um, a non-denominational kind of blessing and
Mhm.
prayer for there to be for us to be grounded in light, in healing, just from our hearts.
And to shine bright like the lighthouses we are.
Yeah. Shine bright to be, our very best, highest potential possibilities, to be freed from the negativity and really communicate with loving hearts and
And make room for an abundance in every area of our lives,
absolutely.
because all of us have that right, that God-given right we all deserve,
And we deserve it. So
and it is
that
our right.
it is our right and we deserve it. So we can start living up to that ideal.
Yes.
So that's where
Yes.
we can stand up and be that thing we deserve, because that's up to
Yeah.
us.
And we're no longer living in hunter-gatherer days. It's not like we have to, accumulate a bunch of things and store up for, because we don't know when the next opportunities come along. There is opportunities in every minute and every second of the day.
Yeah. So thank you.
Hallelujah.
And I'm going to let you close out everything.
Okay, everybody. So, if you will, at the end of this video, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channels, and please join us in our Facebook group. If you haven't already, it's called Empowering Wellness at Home. And it's a private group and it's a special group. And we do a lot of lives, interviews, um, tap alongs, information, collaborations, and podcast. And then I think that's it for now. And in between from now until the next video, just keep on tapping, everyone.
Just keep tapping. Thanks so much, Cynthia. This was great.
It was fun.